My background is kind of checkered, people might say. I'm an Armenian, and so I was, thankfully, this person has passed away, but I had in my family a mercenary, a very famous mercenary who was dubbed the Merchant of Death. I thought I might bring this up because in terms of branding, it's really an unbelievable thing. The New York Times reported that his income was in the astronomical range, and that he basically was the most successful arms dealer the world had ever known. Well, I've never been attracted. I don't even own a gun. I'm afraid it might blow up in my face. But I learned something from the background that I had. It was on my mother's side. She was born in Iskenderun, Turkey, although she was Armenian, a complete Armenian. She never lived in Armenia. Then she lived in Syria, and then she moved to Baghdad, Iraq, and that's where my father met her. It's an interesting story because sometimes good things come from not so good things. And backgrounds can teach you things about what you don't want to be. As an artist, I grew up in Phoenix, Arizona, hearing about this man. My mother, I remember her crying a lot about her brother going to jail for him for 7 years, for example, taking the rap for something, he didn't do, but he was also a mercenary, and he was related to, of course, my cousin. And I saw the pain and suffering going on in my family early with my mother, and I learned one very important thing from this whole scenario, and that is, don't do anything. I don't care what you do, at the piano, at your instrument, at your job, in life, with any relationship that you're going to feel sorry for. That's something I learned very early. It's hard not to do these things, though. You see your son doing things, mistakes, and you want to correct him, and say, don't do that, you're going to pay for that. It's true. People do have to learn from their experiences, as I did. I learned from the School of Hard Knocks. I was told that was going to be my school, even though I was a diligent student and, got straight A's in grade school and high school and college until I, stopped and started playing in a big way. I did not get a degree because my career started early and I started playing a lot of concerts, and so I never went back and got a degree from the university or music school that I was at. But what I did learn, like I said, from these early experiences is it's sort of like, don't ever say anything that you're going to regret. Once a word leaves your mouth, you are a slave. It's left your mouth. There's nothing, it's in the cosmos, if you believe in that. It's out there. Let's put it that way. So, related to this thing we just discussed, doing something that you will be forever not grateful for is a big mistake. Another saying that I learned was, we keep paying for our mistakes. Now, the person didn't tell me how long I'd keep paying, but it's turned out pretty prophetic. If you make a mistake in life, you are going to pay for it. And how long, I don't know, but it tends to be a long time. This can be translated into musical terms and management terms as well. Approach your artists, and I really stress this, with real, sincere honesty. Do not lead them on to think that, once they sign with you, they're going to have a million concerts. We all know, especially in this post-Bernstein era, we don't have a salesman anymore for this industry. Bernstein sold classical music and jazz and other things. He sold it. He was a born salesman. He was gifted in so many ways, but his greatest gift was putting it across the footlights. He could make the simplest guy out there understand what he was saying, yet he said it with such sophistication that you would swear he was an expert on just about everything he talked about. The Norton lectures, for example, I refer to them all the time. It's a brilliant display of knowledge that Leonard Bernstein had. We don't have a spokesman like that anymore. So in this day and age, to tell an artist that you're the answer to their prayers or you're just what the doctor ordered is really misleading. Unless, of course, what? You have the money. If you have the money, you can just about get anything you want. Money does buy a lot. It doesn't buy everything, but it buys a whole hell of a lot. And in terms of marketing, money is king. If you have money, you can do what you call a blitz. If you don't have money, you got to do it precept upon precept, meaning one phone call at a time. That's what you have to do. You have to be patient, and you have to do it one phone call at a time, or one meeting at a time. If you have the money to go travel and see all of these different conductors and so on and impresarios, all the better. But most people looked at as not very cost effective. So the phone is the next best thing. Yes, we have Skype and WeChat and all of these things. Yeah, those are all good, but the phone is still it's the conduit to most of these people. So once again, always be honest with your artists. Always be honest with your buyers. Don't tell them anything you can't deliver. Don't give them any idea that you can do something you cannot do.